Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today I'm going to share you a really cool story that happened to us. If it can happen to us, it can possibly happen to you one day, and I hope it does. I mean, it was pretty fun. So in order to tell this story, we're going to talk about Krypton ball pythons. And you probably say, well, I've watched a few videos on Krypton. There's some really good ones out there. We're going to give you our take, and we're going to tell you how we got into the Krypton, because there may be some of you that get into Krypton the same way we do. And with Krypton, I'm talking CRYPTIC as well. And that is by accident, okay? We got into it by accident. Total accident, which is really kind of neat. So let's start at the beginning of the story. A few years ago, and you can go back and find these in the footage, I went and got, forgot. He's getting busy. I gotta find where I stuck him. I went and I got this male here from, where are you at, buddy? From Fireball Reptiles in Florida. Really good breeder. He had a lot of really cool stuff. Really big into desert ghosts, which happened to be what I was looking for. Speaking of desert ghosts, you're not there. You're not there. See, I have all these marked, and you think I'd be able to find stuff pretty easy. Not there. There you are. He's down here. Let me go get him for you. Maybe. I cannot get him. So Curtis will show him like this. He's getting busy right now. So he is locked up to a female, which is great because this female is a het clown. So we actually have these het clowns that are possible het caramels. We proved two of them to be het caramel with our clown male who we didn't know was het caramel. If you remember that whole disaster of a clutch. Well, that sucked, and obviously we couldn't repeat that pairing. So we decided to get this male in a little bit of work last year. We would just pair him to the het clowns just to make some het desert ghost pastel lesser stuff. Just to kind of get him started. That was all our plan was. Throw him to one female, let him get rolling, because we're really excited about it. But none of our desert ghost stuff was ready. Close him up before we disturb him too much. And we wanted just to kind of get some extra hets, maybe keep something, probably not, push some hets out and whatnot. Well, the eggs hatched. If you go back and you find the cutting video, I had no idea what I was looking at, like no idea. There were a few people that suggested several things. I thought maybe my female ended up being het desert ghost that I was paired to, which would have been really cool. Or, but I didn't know how that could happen because who just didn't expect that. So anyway, there's all these possibilities going through my mind. And somebody said, hey, that might be Krypton. And I said, what? And so I started doing a little research because I really hadn't ran into it. Everything was just coming out. So we found out it, in fact, was Krypton. Let me start showing you those because I think that's going to make a difference for identification purposes. Whoop, I don't want to start there. I want to start here. So this would be the first one. Now, this is just what you'd call visually a straight Krypton. And we were able to contact Fireball Reptiles again. He was very gracious in helping us identify what these were because it came from a male that we got from him. And he kind of said, yes, CRYPTIC has popped up in my collection as well. It's very likely that the male I sold you could be het CRYPTIC. Looking at these babies, those are Kryptons. So you're right. And so he kind of verified what we were looking at, helped us a little bit with what was going on. So a big shout out and a big thank you to him. We'll probably put a little link to his Morph Market store. He's got some really cool stuff. And hey man, go buy his Desert Ghost stuff. Maybe you'll get some accidental CRYPTIC. So CRYPTIC came in linked to the Desert Ghost. It's not stuck with it, but that's kind of how it came in. For a while, people thought it was something with that. It's not. It is its own separate gene. They just kind of came in together. So our CRYPTICs are all 100% het Desert Ghost because our male is a visual Desert Ghost. But when you look at this Krypton, and I guess I should start by saying, how do we identify it? We'll start there, and then we're going to get into exactly how this genetic works. The way you identify it, the easiest thing for me is, if you look, it's like its whole head. Come on, buddy. Don't run away now. It is surrounded. See it? It's like the head stamp's a big island. And if you look at the eye stripes, they are very evident. Some people say that they're wider. I'm trying to make, it's a snake, Kurt. I'm trying to get it not to move. There. Some people will say it's wider. Some people will say it's different things. I think it's just a wide band that kind of sticks out. And then it's overall, for just a straight Krypton, much lighter in color than what a normal would be, and just looks vastly different. But it looks odd. I know these have been passed around as odd normals before. People tried to breed it, and nothing came out of it. They're like, well, screw that. But this is definitely genetic. Let me put this guy up. We'll show you a few different morphs with it, because this is the only straight Krypton we got. Now this little one here, you're going to kind of see how it plays with, well, let me find you a good one. I'll bring this over here. So this is a lesser Krypton. Again, what is Krypton? So Krypton is an allelic combination of Het Clown and Het Cryptic. We'll get into that a little bit more. But when we say Krypton, that's what we're talking about. This is also Het Desert Ghost. This is a triple Het animal. It's also a lesser, and it looks way different than a traditional lesser. Here we go. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Of course, you would be in shed. Here's another little lesser. It's in shed. It's not going to make a difference for what I want to show. One, the eye stripes are still different, but look at the pattern. Look at the blushing. Look how wonky it is. The colors can be different, but again, this one's in shed. But you can certainly tell a major difference in how the lesser Krypton looks versus a lesser, right? You see that gene at work. Cryptic is going to look very similar. As people tell you the neck stripe looks different. Speaking of that, look at the neck stripe on our lesser here, which has a pretty pronounced, decently long neck stripe. You can see that versus the neck stripe on that one. It just looks more busted, more digitized on the sides. Definitely a different looking animal. There's no way you can look at both these animals and say, hey, they're the same thing. So let me put this one up. I got a few more I want to share with you. And then we're going to do a little genetic diagramming. I don't know. I'm going to give you my take on how this all works. My take will probably be a little bit different than others. Because here's the thing, guys, I am not, I'm not a scientist. So I'm going to try to make it really, really simple when I show you how this works. But make it really easy to understand, and we'll be right. This is another one we hit. This is a little female. And this is just a pastel Krypton. Hopefully it'll pull its head out and you can kind of see it. To me, it honestly reminds me a lot of spot nose pastels, but not quite the same. I mean, it is different looking. Look at the head though. Craziness, right? Craziness. So there's a lot going on with this gene, and it adds a lot of pattern. It adds a lot of color change. It's just really kind of cool. And there's a lot of neat stuff we can do with it. Now, let me put this one up, and I'm going to show you what I consider the cream of the crop. Now, this is where Krypton's going to shine, okay? This here is a pastel lesser. Pretty snake. Nice blushed head. See that? There you go. Not in shed. Pastel lesser. Good blushing coming up through. Nice looking little animal. Pastel lesser Krypton. Notice there was a few seconds of deafening silence we don't usually have in videos because that animal is simply breathtaking. If you can't see the potential of what Krypton can do, I don't know what else to tell you. So this is what can come of it. This simple combination here with Krypton added has cranked that up so far. It's mind-boggling. To me, anyway. So there's a lot that can be done. I want to say, man, imagine this with fire. I do think lesser does a lot with it. Pastel does a lot with it. The two together just blew my mind. And the coolest thing was, this all happened by total accident. And it also makes me, before we get into the genetic thing, I want to talk a little bit about good breeders, really quick. Because when we contacted Fireball about this, he could have been like, man, I don't want to talk about something that was in my collection I didn't know about. And obviously, if he'd have known it was there, we'd have had to pay a lot more for the animal we purchased, right? He wouldn't have been selling it for the same price. We probably wouldn't have been able to afford it. But he was really gracious, man. He stood and said, hey, yeah, this is exactly what happened. He knew what was going on with his collection. He was open to talk about it. I mean, that's what you want. You want people who are transparent and open. So, that's the kind of people that I, for one, like to work with. And that made me so much more comfortable with buying from him in the future. That was our first interaction with him purchasing. And we bought quite a bit of stuff from him. He had really nice stuff, but, who knew? Well, now I would feel so much more comfortable going back and buying something high-end from him just because of the simple fact that I know his communication is going to be there. If I have a question, he's going to be quick to help and quick to respond. He's going to tell me what he really believes is going on. that's awesome. And no matter how long you've been at this, we haven't been at this as long as people think we have, to be quite honest. It doesn't mean we know everything. So we still are going to learn from others. And, having that ability is always a good thing. So let's talk now. Enough free advertising, right? Let's talk now about Krypton and how it works, okay? So we're going to mark clown over here. So you have clown and you have cryptic. They're allelic, okay? This could be the same as albino, tofino. Works the exact same way. So when you breed a clown to a cryptic, okay, what they're going to produce is all kryptons. Every time. Every time. There's no way to miss it. Clown to cryptic will make krypton. Follow me? This krypton, when you breed the krypton to anything, if you breed it to a clown, okay, say we breed a krypton to a clown, right? You breed those, you're going to get clowns and cryptics. Or sorry, kryptons. My bad. Why is that? Well, because the clown, when it's bred a visual clown, I guess I should mark a homo and a homo here. We're not talking hets. It's easier to understand if we don't get into hets right away. So a homozygous clown, a visual clown, to a homozygous cryptic, a visual cryptic, they're going to all make kryptons. When you breed that krypton to a clown, we'll also breed that cryptic to a cryptic over here. I have the same thing. It has to pass on either clown, right, or cryptic. It will not pass on krypton. Krypton's a combination like tofino, has to pass on toffee or albino. So when it does that with the clown, so mom is passing on her gene here. Everybody gets clown, right? Everybody gets clown. So then depending on what this one passes on, if it passes on clown, you'll have a clown. If it passes on krypton, or a cryptic, you're going to have a krypton. That's how it works. So this krypton is a clown cryptic. That's what it is. So that's what's going on here. They're allelic. Cannot make a normal. If you breed it to a normal, which we'll do that too. Let's take it down here to a normal really quick. So I would never do this, okay? But that's our pairing right there. What we'd have is, excuse my crappy handwriting, het clown and het cryptic. Okay? It would not make a krypton. It would not make a clown. It would not make a cryptic. Because this is no different than if I breed an albino to a normal or a pied to a normal. It's the same thing. The only difference is instead of making all het pieds, this has to pass on one of the two genes. So when it does, I don't know which one I'm making. Okay? If I breed it to this cryptic over here, guess what we're going to get? Any guesses? I'll tell you, it's going to end up looking really similar to this, but just a little bit different. Okay? You're going to get kryptons and cryptics. No clowns. These, krypton, would be the het clown, het cryptic. These would be the homo cryptic. By homo, we mean homozygous. Is that clear as mud? At all. So what does that mean for what we're doing? Well, you just saw I had my pastel lesser desert ghost. So let's do him. He's a PLDG, right? Visual, het, cryptic. That's what we know him to be. Okay? He's being paired to a het clown. That's what we know her to be. Okay? That's our pairing. Okay. What all could we get from here? Well, we could get, everything will be at least het desert ghost, right? So every baby, we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, and an 8. They're all going to be het desert ghosts. We won't even worry about the het desert ghost stuff, right? Let's say mom here, let's call this one dad and mom. Let's say dad on baby 1, he passes on pastel. Okay. And mom passes on nothing. I have a pastel het desert ghost. That's it. I can get that. Say over here, he passes on pastel and cryptic. Mom passes on nothing. I have the pastel het cryptic. I have no way of telling the two apart. So this would be considered for breed-wise 50% het cryptic. And this would also be 50%. Okay? Can't tell the difference. Can't tell. I don't know. Let's say baby 3, we get the het clown in there from mom. We get the het cryptic from dad, right? And let's just say for shits and giggles, we get a lesser. What do we got there? Any ideas, Kurt? Am I making sense at all?
Yeah, you got a lesser Krypton.
Boom! So we do. Kurt's right. We have a lesser Krypton. Whereas here, I mean, we have 50% possible hets. All het desert ghosts still. So say 4, dad passes on pastel and lesser. Doesn't pass on cryptic. Mom passes on het clown. Okay, it's a possibility, right? What we end up with is a pastel lesser. Do we know what's het clown? I actually was wrong on these. I'll explain in a minute. Do we know what's het clown? We don't, right? We don't know if it's het cryptic either. We wouldn't be able to visually see. All we're going to visually see is the pastel lesser. That's all hidden. So all we'd see is pastel lesser. Now we would know, I mean, in this case we said it's het clown. So we said, you know, just for learning purposes. What we'd know is that there was a chance dad passed on cryptic. There was a chance mom passed on clown. If they had passed on both of them. So there's 4 options when you're dealing with two hets together, right? 4 options. 1, none. Nobody got anything. Got one from dad, got one from mom, got both. Well, in this case, when we're looking at these snakes visually, we can rule out one of those options. We know it did not get the het from mom and the het from dad. It would be a visual. So that leaves us with only 3 options. So in this case, it's 66% het clown or cryptic. Can't be both. We know that. These would be the same thing. They'd be 66% het cryptic or clown. My bad. Trying to be too simple there. So that's what we would know. 2/3 of a chance it's het for something, but your guess as to what is as good as mine. And it just kind of continues on down that way, where we could get a straight Krypton, we could get whatever. So there's a lot of variables in that pairing. Obviously what we're hoping for is Kryptons. That's a big prize there. We got really lucky, pair 1 got 4. Probably not going to happen that way again. However, this is what you're looking for. Now, let's make it really simple for you, and then I'll stop. If you had a pied times a pied, okay, what are you going to get, Kurt?
Maybe a pied.
All pieds, right? All pieds. They're going to be all pieds. All pieds. If you take that pied, you breed to a normal, what are you going to get?
All het pieds.
All het pieds, right? It's the same thing here. Take a Krypton, or sorry, a cryptic, to a clown, again. All Kryptons. Right? All Kryptons. You take a cryptic, I should have spelled that with C, to a normal, you're going to get what? All het cryptics, right? Every time, right? Where it gets a little wonky, the only thing that makes it different, it's the same as Tofino, is when you take a Krypton to a normal. Now, you get all het, but they're het clown or cryptic. We just don't know what they are. Same as if I take a Tofino times a normal. I would get what? Het Toffee or het albino. Wouldn't know which. works the exact same way. So as crazy and the confusing as this cryptic and Krypton stuff has been, after watching some videos from people who probably have more experience than me, probably a little more grasp on things than me, this is what I've come up with. And I'm pretty certain, as far as I can tell, we're right. Like, this is what the hobby has kind of said, that people have been working with it, and it makes total sense, right? So, the thing to remember in all this, because now that you look at this, it looks like I've drawn a confusing mess. The thing to remember is we got really damn lucky. Yay us! And Krypton will work just like Tofino. You're going to pass on Cryptic or Clown. You just don't know which one. Cryptic itself is just another recessive. So Cryptic is a recessive. Pretend you can take out the word Toffee and albino and put in Clown and Cryptic, and it works the exact same way from a breed standpoint. Kurt, any questions?
Nope.
Did I explain that halfway decent?
Yep.
If you were taking a minor in genetics, would you have figured this out?
Yep.
That's good, because I don't have a minor in genetics. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.